Now let me talk about the campus employer branding report, which will be revealed in just a while. So the idea was that when we were engaging with all these recruiters, and many of you who are here, we basically were always questioned that, hey, are our assumptions right? If we are thinking that, hey, we should give this much salary or this engagement, are our assumptions right? There was no report, ladies and gentlemen, until this report, which truly voiced the thoughts of students. There are only lateral reports or so, right? So we thought that let's ask them. Let's create the most trusted and credible survey that we can have, right? And when we basically started on this journey, these two words are connected. I won't sort of gain your trust if my report is not credible, right? And for me, just to ensure that my report is credible, we don't have a jury. We wanted to eliminate all biases, right? And for me, I think if we basically engage with any human element, the biases come into the picture. So we thought that can we open up our survey to all students, and we asked them questions which are very, very pinpointed. We asked them questions where they had to either select objective answers or they have to type in. So if we were asking them dream employers, which we'll sort of show today, we basically gave them a blank slate. So if we were asking them top 5 dream employers, they had to type in the name of the company. That ensures that whatever name comes on their first mind recall is what you will see today, right? And when we went, right, we got 32,700 nominations. So the whole process was that if students are, so there are 2 parts to it. One is report and one is for the leaders nominations, right? The students nominate that they have won these many competitions or so. It's like an Olympic. We verify their nomination. If they won, we give them stars. The student who have maximum stars will be ranked higher. Very simple, right? Then there were 72,000 votes. So the rankings we'll be revealing. We have also, in terms of the engagements that happen, they have voted for those opportunities. And for the survey, we have 9,800 plus students who completely filled the survey across B schools in engineering, right from the first question to the third question. Why I'm only mentioning these numbers, it is very, very important to know that whatever we are saying, right, has good numbers at the back, right? The first key finding of the survey, only 14% want to work specifically for a startup, which was surprising for us. Very, very surprising, right? Out of 9,800, and then there can be a definition of a startup, right? Which we also asked. But 1 in 2 students prefer to still work in an established and a legacy firm. So many of you who would be going to IIMs, IITs or so for recruitment, where startups are basically going, giving higher CTCs or so, and then you have to pump your CTCs or so, maybe that may not be the right approach. I'm not saying that whether the answer is yes or no, but our stats say that 14% students only want to specifically work in a startup, irrespective of the salary range. Yeah? The second, more importantly, 1 in 2 students chose a lower CTC. In newspapers, you always read that IIMs, IITs go for 50 lakhs, 1 crore packages, right? But now students are going even for a lower CTC if their enhanced salaries are higher. Many companies are basically pushing up variables and ESOPs, correct, to basically push up those CTCs, and there is nothing wrong in that, but there is a segment of students who are valuing in-hand salaries. And I think that needs to be highlighted. I've seen very, very few placement decks or your pitches where you actually focus on in-hand. We always focus on the overall CTC to glamorize, right? But I think students are looking much beyond that. The other key important aspect, right, and there are 2 here. They want career and growth as their top priority, irrespective of the company that they want to work for rather than salary, right? And then the third basically comes is their personal interest. Because if I want to work in a e-commerce or marketing, I think now students only want that rather than applying everywhere else. And that's why if you go onto the campuses, the applications on a per company basis are dropping because students are getting more conscious about the brand that they want to work for, right? And what the most striking element was the below line, right? Flexi hours, work from home, these are terms that we hear, but I'm not sure if students value them. I mean, understand from students' point of view, right? They haven't even gone into the job market. They don't know about work-life balance. They are not mature enough. I mean, that's how I would see it, right? They may value it, but this is on their least priority list. So maybe in your pitches, don't focus on it. Probably this is parity. You anyways will have to give it if others are giving, right? And then most students prefer to be interviewed. This is common, right? They don't want to go through any of the assessments. They only want to be interviewed. They don't want to be assessed on any skills. वो बोलते हैं हमारे पास skills है. Just interview and take us. But there will be challenges, right? So not every insight might be implementable because then how would we get money if this is going to happen, right? But still, I'm saying that we need to ensure that we understand students or the fresher market the way they have in their mind. And then I believe that's a major, major disconnect. And that's why we wanted this survey to be out. Unfortunately, we may not be able to give you the copies of the survey because you will get ET, Economic Times will be covering this survey, their editorial team and all, and we have been told not to basically roll out any of the copies until that's out. So that will be out either today evening on economictimes.com and in tomorrow's newspaper, right? These were major key insights that I thought, and this is for me being a sales guy. So we also slid in a question as to what kind of engagement would you want to participate in if you would want to engage with any company, right? Placement talks were number one earlier, but now, ladies and gentlemen, now what we do, competitions, engagements, is what students want. And trust me, I think one of the key insights that is not there, many students are looking at engagements not as a hiring engagement. No, they're not looking at it as a hiring, right? If you're doing an engagement in IIM Ahmedabad or IIT Delhi, they don't have a problem getting a job. What they have problem is basically to hone their skills and learn new skills which they don't get in a classroom. And competitions or these engagements are one aspect. The second thing is that they want to experience what it is like to be working for, let's say, Flipkart, Amazon, Tata's, Amazons of the world, and then take a prudent choice where they want to make a career, right? And the third, more importantly, and this was basically told to me by one of the sharks. So Vinita said that she used to participate in competitions, not to get a job, but in IIM Ahmedabad, all students are 99 percentilers. So if a recruiter gets a CV, it's the same, right? What can differentiate our achievements from these engagements? It's as simple as that, right? So they are creating resume through these engagements, and that's what they want, right? And for that matter, all the other colleges where all the dream recruiters are not able to go to because of limitation of resources, they get opportunities to be even participating in their hiring challenges. Okay, so that's about it, the key insights.